And he must have gotten all of that sack on that fucking wheel. And that's all I know. But the thing that got me the most about it was no one told me shit. I woke up, there was no note. Hey, man, FYI, you're going to be locked up in a fucking chamber of skunk ass on your drive. And I couldn't roll the windows down. And rolling that shit didn't help. I couldn't get a breeze in the thing. So that car was absolute gold.
They roast it, they toast it, they dive in and they coast it. If the universe gets wild, you know they're getting close to it. Pirkles and Mirlk.
So welcome to the podcast. This is episode 2 of the Pirkles And Mirlk podcast. We appreciate everybody who kind of like joined us last week or even last month and then this month as well. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Mirlk.
I am Pirkles.
All right. So we're going to be your host today to discuss failures. If you guys have followed us through the past month, you guys will see that we've done nothing but like failures, flops. Video game flops that they've been commercially flopped, but we wanted to give them a second run and have a play with it, and that's what we've essentially done. So during this episode, we're going to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes things that actually happened. This has actually been a really difficult month for us personally, not just with the video games themselves, but behind the scenes, there's just a lot of obstacles and challenges to overcome, essentially.
A ton.
So we're going to go a little bit into that this episode, and we're going to move through, in addition, this episode we're going to discuss the February flops, the video games crusade that we went on last month. We're going to talk about some of the behind the scenes of our production, right? The scheduling, all that kind of goes on. We're going to go deep into that piece. We're also going to, in this episode, you're going to come up with, we're going to talk about some of our stories that we've actually had, some of our own personal failures that that we've gotten to experience in our 40 plus odd years here on this planet.
40 some odd years.
And then in the last bit, we're going to talk a little bit about like how that has actually helped us as a person and grow and so on and so forth. So it's going to be lighthearted, it's going to be weird, it's going to be ridiculous, and you're going to hear a lot of weird stories. So hopefully you guys can stay tuned. And I don't know. I don't fucking know. Let's watch it. I don't know.
Yeah. Welcome to Pirkles and Mirlk.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. So, all right, dude. So, anyway, that's how you make a fool out of yourself, right? So,
it's fine. It's all good.
Oh, man, I'm so bad at this. Oh, man. What's a failure? Well, fucking, have you seen their podcast?
Oh, yeah. We're starting it off strong.
No, we're so strong. All right, so we're going to go right into, the first segment of this piece where we're going to talk about some of the behind the scenes that we've actually, had to go through. So, in your perspective, like how have you felt about this last month, this February flop failure? And
I can be honest, man, like that, switching jobs from the way I did and then not knowing my schedule and then scheduling conflicts, we're having fun with that. So we had to kind of move some shit around, kind of do what we could do. But, Father Time's an evil bastard, and that's just kind of what he does.
Okay. So let me paint the picture, because that sounds very high level, and just so the viewers really understand what the fuck that meant is...
Translate.
Pirkles has basically shifted jobs midway through, and I'm a very rigid person, so I like my schedule. So we're very busy, so unfortunately with his changes that were made, we had to adjust when we shoot the videos for our Roast or Toast segment or... when we stream, all those dates and times were shifted all around trying to fit to our very already busy and full schedules. But the really fun part is you work, and I won't say the name, but you work in retail, so your schedule sucks ass because it just fluctuates so much.
Ass sucking.
To me, that shit, that's that was a challenge for me to overcome. Like how like I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do it this day. We're gonna get this video done this day, and it's like, no, I gotta work. And I'm like, well, fuck. Well, let's find a time, and then you couldn't. So we did muster through it. We did we did get through it. So that's a plus. Like that's a plus.
Oh yeah.
The other issue we had, or that I experienced, we both experienced really, was I do a lot of the Opus editing. We use Opus clips for a lot of our social media and our shorts. And apparently their servers were just pounded or something happened. Like,
oh yeah, they got hit raw.
It was awful. Because they weren't sending things out on certain times, or it didn't even look like it delivered it properly. It was a cluster to have to like, and I'd be sitting at work, and then I say like at 11 o'clock they get released. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, that shit's wrong, but I don't have time to fix it until later that night. So that kind of happened with our with that. The other thing that occurred was there was one time one particular video went out. And I really liked this video, and I really wanted it to go out, but it went out. So I got home, and then I funneled it out. I forced it to get out. It still took me like 20 minutes to get out, but we got it out. But then Opus released it again, so now I have like a double dosage of it, and I'm like, no. So I went to Instagram, and I deleted the duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I tried to delete it, it kept saying the same video was there. For some reason, it wasn't. It was all the other videos. And this happened for the Strangers of Paradise. So I started deleting all of our Instagrams for Strangers of Paradise on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, then re-releasing them?
Dude, I didn't re-release them. I was like, you know what?
Okay,
they don't
whatever.
want to be there. They're not there anymore. I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
So Opus, thank you very much. But there were some disruptions there that kind of sucked. But we worked through that as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
we always work through it.
Yeah, we had to, right? There was a lot of challenge. But the funnier part, I think, that happened, because that's like the real shit that we're really trying to struggle with and get through, which we did. I think we made that through pretty well. The other... I'm going to let you drive this piece. So let's talk about the games that we wanted to play that we were actually excited about that just we couldn't get it to work.
Okay. I would say, one, it can go back to Retro Month. And I think it was mentioned in the last podcast as well. I'm not sure. I've slept since then. But we tried to play Contra. Contra 3, one of our childhood games. No multiplayer. Unless you're on couch co-op, and that doesn't really work for us. So we couldn't really do that one.
Right.
Which is fun. It hurt my feeling a little bit. Then we had the next one that I felt more excited about than anything, because I remember seeing it the first time, was Godfall. But apparently there were some problems with the company. The arcane sector kind of went out.
From what I understood is we wanted to play Godfall. And Godfall wasn't even the first choice.
It wasn't.
We had to shift across multiple games throughout this period of time because we couldn't find failures that were actually still alive. A lot of them were dead or delisted or whatever it was. But we found one, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the other one that we defaulted to Godfall. So we download it. We buy it, we download it, we're ready to play it, we get into the game. I'm actually excited about this game. I'm actually, I'm hooked on it. Like, yeah, cool, let's play with it. This was the game that launched for PS5. It was supposed to be, push that piece. And I think it was Gearbox who did it, actually.
Yes, it was Gearbox.
Gearbox did this one in the sense of trying to do a looter shooter that was more melee-based, less guns, and more whatever. Yeah, very similar to Two Human, I would assume. It's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Either or. So apparently, whoever it was it Arcane or some development house? I can't remember who did it. They just closed their doors or whatever it is. They get closed down, shut down. So the servers, the multiplayer servers for that game, got shut the fuck down. So 2K Games, as opposed to they say that the game is still multiplayer.
No.
That was our issue. We bought the game thinking it was multiplayer. We got it, downloaded it, happy to play it. We log in there, and we sit there for 15 to 20 minutes, and not one fucking server. Like, we're like looking for a server for 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
We could not actually even play the game.
Nope.
Not together. So that one went out the fucking window.
Straight up out that window.
What was the other one that we tried to play?
We tried to play Umbrella Corp, but turns out that we're the only two motherfuckers that were sitting online. So, or even had the game pulled up, because that shit flopped so hard that people were like, nah, we ain't even trying. And by looking at their Steam charts too, like, you want to talk about flop? I think their highest peak was like 23. Like,
yeah, it was bad.
It was awful.
It was
but,
bad.
you know, I wanted to see how awful it was. I guess sitting there waiting for a game is bad enough.
Yeah, Umbrella Corp, you can't even play it.
Shut that down.
Yeah, or put fucking NPCs in there. So, to back up and illustrate the scenario, is we did get Umbrella Corp. We got it on sale on Steam, and when we loaded it up, everything was fine. We got everything going, everything was fine. And when we got into a game to try to play, we couldn't find a room. But you have to have at least 4 people. No, you said 3, right? Because
I think it was 3.
And nobody was playing. There's no bots. There's no NPC. So it's like, unless people are playing, you can't play that game.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, maybe it was a shitty game, but I really wanted to sample it, you know. But we couldn't even get past those levels. So those 2 games themselves they flopped so hard. We failed to even be able to enter a game to play, like a session.
You couldn't even play them. They was like flop.
They flopped
nothing
hard enough where people were like, so take them the fuck down.
Oh yeah, dude,
take them down, or put bots in there or some shit. I don't know. Do something.
Give us peer to peer.
By the way, thank you, Steam, for the 3 refunds that we had requested last month. I do appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Those are the 3.
Why they were even on sale, I question.
Who knows? Stupid.
Yeah, it is.
Now moving on to the next piece is, so February flops was inspired by a certain game.
Yes.
Do you want to take that moment to talk about that game and how you felt about it, without don't even call the game out? See if the viewers can actually pick up on what game it was.
My brain went blank, bro.
On what game it was?
Yeah. You mentioned it earlier. I'm just like, brain just go, nah. It just don't want to do it.
So the game that we're talking about recently had their server shut down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember now. That's all you needed to tell me. I'm right there now.
Yeah.
We enjoyed the hell out of this game. We first got it. Well, I first got it on EA when I was using Game Pass. We played the heck out of it. It was, you know, you're kind of in a robot suit. You're kind of shooting everything, kind of flying around, kind of just enjoying the scenery and doing all that while doing missions. And, you know, it was a fun little game. I can't question or understand why it flopped as hard, apart from technical issues, which every game has, which is awesome, but some feel it harder than others.
Right.
This one felt it like super hard, like, you know, you can't have that.
So, yeah, and I think that's when we first played the game, and I got it off the like, I think at launch I bought it because I really wanted it. Again, it was promoted as a Destiny killer. It seems to be a recurring thing. People have been trying to dethrone Destiny forever.
Yeah.
So it started off, and I remember there was a lot of developmental issues with it in the sense of trying to force the in-game engine, or so people said. Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not a developer, but they said that the engine was not suited for that level of inventory management, and they forced this Frostbite engine onto the game itself, which caused a lot of technical issues. I remember the game running my computer hard, but I don't think I ran into that many issues necessarily with it. And if we haven't figured it out so far, the game is Anthem. You know, rest in peace. I do appreciate all the time and enjoyment that I had with that game and the development and everybody who went in there as that passion project. I really, really enjoyed it personally.
Yeah.
Hate to see it go. I really did. I really was. When I heard it was being like shut down, I was like, oh shit, I want to play it.
Yeah.
You know, so but that game is the one who actually inspired the February flops. So we wanted to give everybody or not everybody, but we wanted to give some of the developers a little bit more screen time and play some of their games that were commercial flops, but maybe they rebounded a little bit. And I think we have found a couple.
Oh, we did.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I think we did find a couple to that point. So again, just because you fail at something or a product fails, sometimes you just keep on going with it. And we realized that there's some games that they just kept with it and kept pushing it, and it actually has created like a cult following. Essentially, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
So you can keep that stuff going.
You know what's really funny though?
What?
So the Dreamcast was considered a flop as well because of whatever. The second that it went out and it wasn't, doing the online thing anymore, they weren't making it anymore, everybody was buying that crap up. They wanted it. It's only whenever something's gone, that's when everybody wants it.
I never thought about how the Dreamcast was a flop.
Well,
I think
that's why
you're
it
right.
shut down.
Sega didn't make their money back.
No.
Yeah, I remember that shit. But speaking of that, in failures, moving on to the next, let's talk about like personal failures that we've actually endured and enjoyed in our personal life.
Yes, so many. 43 years of life. It's
right.
You're gonna find some.
So tell me, what's a good story that you have that you got to enjoy some failures in your life?
Let's check out this cool story, right? So, I would say that one of my stories is actually almost a no, it was a failure. It was a failure for sure.
What was it?
So, you let me speak, right? Just trying to tell everybody my story.
This is what camera shyness looks like.
Yes, it is.
You're failing at telling a story.
I am. So hard. No, so I was a very brilliant kid. I'm not going to say that I was like, yo, rocket scientist type shit right here. No, not like that, but I'm not dumb. So going through high school, I experienced 3 senior years. It was pretty awesome. I didn't do much except for sleep. But, I ended up, so close to graduation. 3.5 credits away from graduation.
Right. I remember this.
And then, I'm like, well, maybe I can't go to school no more. I tried to go back. They're like, nah, dude, you're too old. Mr. Motter.
So you never graduated high school?
I never graduated high school. And it's actually given me bad dreams. And good dreams. So some dreams I'm like, dude, I finally made it. I get to graduate this year. I had one a couple nights ago, right?
You're okay.
Yeah, it's freaking weird, but I was still 40-something years old graduating from high school. Bizarre.
Loved it.
Yeah, me too.
If I give a shit.
Through the years, I've had those similar dreams where it's I failed out. I could have done something more.
So you beat yourself up with your regret.
Oh yeah, in my dreams. Mostly my dreams, because mostly when I was awake, I didn't really give a shit.
What are you gonna fucking accomplish with that shit anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you gonna accomplish with it?
I don't know. But nothing more than I would accomplish already.
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't you do any benefit.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever. That's your dream, man. That's your failure. That's cool.
Dreams.
Dreams are your failure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I got one. It's actually a good one because so a long time ago, eons ago, when I first moved out, I was on my bachelor years, right? So I had 2 cars. I had was it 91 or 92?
91.
It was 91 Jetta GL. It was a box on wheels, man. It was gray. It was It was awful. So,
Dude, you remember that whole...
Yeah, it did have sunroof, and you had to like roll it down. The car was found in like a field up in Michigan, and so mother bought it for me. So anyway, since it came up in Michigan, for those who don't know, like you have Michigan driving is significantly different. They like to put salt down on their roads because they have so much snow and it'll eat all that up. But what happens is it kicks it back up to the car and it will rust out the brakes. It rusts out the car. That's why up north you usually see a lot more damage in that kind of cosmetic side, right? Or even like just brakes and wheel line, like all that stuff. It gets a little more fucked up, a little rusted than it is down here in, say, Texas, where we don't really necessarily have that. So when we got the car, it was fine, but apparently throughout the years, the brake master cylinder started going out. But me being having two cars, thinking I'm big balling as a 18 or 19-year-old, whatever it was, I had an IROC Z28, which was that was my baby. I loved that car. And then I had that Jetta. So I worked at a gas station outside of a Walmart. You worked at that Walmart. Mm-hmm. You went to work at a different time than I did. So I lent you my car, even though we were... we won't talk about that piece. But you would drive to Walmart with that Jetta. And I would drive to work with my IROC. I'm sitting there one day, early in the morning. I think you had gotten off work. So maybe it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And so the gas station had this little kiosk. So I was in this little kiosk, like behind all this glass, and I see you drive by, right? I see you coming from Walmart. You move over, and all of a sudden I hear this, like all these fucking like crash sounds, and I look over, and for people to give a visual, there's a parking spot, but like right after that it drops,
like a 5-foot drop.
So David couldn't stop. So he pops over this bitch, falls down into this grassy area, gets back on the road, and circles back around.
Oh, no. I was driving on the sidewalk.
So, either or. I don't remember that. All I heard is like the crash, and I see you pull up in front. You finally get it to stop right in front of the gas station. You get out. You're pissed. You're like, fuck this place. Fuck this car, and you just get out. And my arrogant ass is like, you don't know how to do it right. Let me show you what's up. So I get behind the wheel of the car. I basically drive it to the same spot, but this time what I did is I slammed it in park. So that way it would stop in park. Unfortunately, though, well, that's probably bad for the transmission. I didn't really care about that. I was slamming in there and be stopped, right? Turns out that there's a little bit of a oomph rev right at the backside of it. Mm-hmm. What happened was that car got completely stuck over that 5-foot drop. Just boom. And everybody can see this now. I get out of the car. My car is now latched like over. It's like leaning over this parking spot and into the grass. And we had to call a tow truck. And everybody saw it. And I'm over there laughing my ass off. I don't even think I was mad about it. The really funny part about it was after all that was done and we had it towed, we went to some kind of European shop, which, spoiler alert, I just left it there because it wasn't worth the fix. I woke up that next morning to a picture. You had... With all the onlookers that were going on, you had somebody take a picture of that car. And then you framed that motherfucker, and I woke up, and that's the first thing I saw, in a frame next to my bed.
Yeah, so during that whole time, a woman came up to me, he's like, oh, man, can I take a picture of this? I was like, yeah, go for it.
You're like, can I have a copy of it?
Yeah.
Then you went to Walmart, got it printed. And, so... Fine, and I'm gonna post it right here so that way people can see it. Like that is what the car looked like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was
Though, I did get out of the car pissed off and stuff, and you're like, oh, you're just being a little bitch. And then you try to do it, and you fucking hang it over the end. Yeah, that's what really happened. It's like, you're just being a bitch.
because I actually explicitly stated because I was arrogant.
Yes.
I thought that I was the
But
best.
you called me a bitch.
Probably. I call you bitch all the time.
Still.
Still a little bitch.
In that moment. I was pissed, and you called me a bitch, so...
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dude, no, I could tell you something about that Jetta. That car was never nice to nobody.
It loved me.
It was wet outside. It was like raining and shit. I'm going down the not quite highway, but like that long place, and I hit the brakes, dude. Guess what?
Didn't
Those
stop.
fuckers got stuck to the back of the car. I had to pull my foot off, reach down, pull it back, and then do it again just to stop it. Like, that car sucked.
That car was awesome. I loved that car. I actually had dreams about that car and how much I miss it. One day
I actually have fond memories of the car, but
I loved
it's only
it.
because it's the bad things that make it so fond. I don't know.
I can tell another story about that car, which actually was going to be my next piece. And actually, you're in it because that car seemed to be very synonymous with a lot of fun failures that I've got to experience in that time period of my life. But it was around that car. So one time, I did work at a gas station. So at one point, I had to get off. I got off late that night. Mm-hmm. And I went and I just had to go to the grocery store. At that time, I was a baller on a budget, 99 cents. You get like 99 cents where I can get Progresso soups and shit, like whatever it was. Like I just got a bunch of food. So I'm driving home. It's late. It's dark out. I get pulled over. So I get pulled over. The cop comes over to my window, and I start rolling down my window. And all of a sudden, I hear a snap, and the window just shoots down. So I yell out, "Fuck!" And the cop was right next to the car. So he comes over. He goes, "What?" Like he's like, "Is he ready to throw down?" I said, "Dude, my window just broke. Just trying to get groceries. Long day. Just give me a ticket so I can go home." And I was just very like frustrated. And this cop, he goes, "Well, I'm not going to kick a man while he's down. Just change your tail light." And that was it. So I go home, all right? So that was really nice of him. What I ended up having to do is I ended up getting that window jimmy rigged up, right? So I got that up there, and then so I locked it down so that window would not go down. No. Now, part 2 of the story. Yeah, you already know where this is going. You and a buddy of ours decide that you wanted to go somewhere at night. I don't really know.
It was, I believe it was Daniel.
It was Daniel, and you guys wanted to go. And he asked if he could borrow the car. And I said, I don't care, whatever, just take it. Because I had to wake up early for work tomorrow. And at this time, I don't think I had the IROC, so it was just the Jetta is all I had.
Yeah.
So you guys go, and you guys do whatever you do. So I'm going to tell you from my perspective. You can elaborate later. All that comes, I wake up in the morning. I look down, my car is there, it's fine. I get in the car, I start driving, and immediately knew this very potent stench was permeating my nostrils. And I don't know what the hell is happening. It smelled so concentrated, and I couldn't roll my fucking window down. And I had about a 20-minute drive to work, and I'm like gagging in the car. Like I was like, something's wrong. It was horrifying. And I remember it was skunk is what it was. That was that smell. It was like strong. What I do know that happened is because I immediately called Daniel and you when I got to work was, what the fuck did you do to my car? And all I'm going to say about that is he ran something over, and it happened to be a skunk. and it hit the front left wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And he must have gotten all of that sack on that fucking wheel. And that's all I know. But the thing that got me the most about it was no one told me shit. I woke up, there was no note. Hey man, FYI, you're going to be locked up in a fucking chamber of skunk ass on your drive. And I couldn't roll the windows down. And rolling that shit didn't help. I couldn't get a breeze in the thing. So
Nope.
That car was absolute gold for me. But you tell me, what the fuck happened that night when you?
So, I wasn't driving. And Daniel was driving, obviously, right?
Right.
So, we're just going down the road. We're like, hey, man, we'll bring this back, all that. And then he sees something in the street. But then we start heading out, and all of a sudden the smell just starts to permeate through the car. And I'm sitting here like, it's like I can't breathe. So we actually parked the car in front of somebody else's house, and we get out. We're just chilling for like 10 minutes until we can breathe, right? Because, you can't roll down the driver's side.
Right.
The passenger side really isn't coming down either.
I don't remember.
No, it doesn't. And obviously the sunroof isn't helping at all.
Right.
We get there and we're like, oh man, it'd be funny if he just gets up in the morning, starts coming out to the car, and then boom.
Did you guys already premeditated that shit?
Well, he didn't want to be found out, which is crazy.
That's fucked up.
But,
That is so fucked up.
that goes with another failure that I remember. It's almost like punishment.
What is that?
Do you remember when we were living together at that one apartment, and you had actually brought home a husky that you found? And I was trying to head out to work, man. I'm like, dude, hey, man, I'll see you later. And I open that door. This dog darts out. Man, I'm having to run after it. I'm like, hey, man, come back. All this stuff. Next thing I know, it sees a little dog, grabs that shit, and is like, I bring it back up to you. He's like, dude, you got to get rid of this. It just attacked the little dog. And you're just sitting there laughing the whole fucking time.
It was funny.
I know. In hindsight, it was funny, but I was trying to get to work.
One old woman was walking that dog, which is absolute.
Oh, dude.
gold.
She was like, ah! It was fantastic, dude. It was just fantastic. In hindsight.
In hindsight, yeah, like hindsight for sure.
But, we got rid of that thing, and then,
I think it just ran away, man. Like, we're like, all right, it's gone. I don't think I ever found any owner or anything to it.
No.
I
don't know if that's a failure, but yeah, it is. It's a fun little story. We did something nice, something bad happened. End of story.
Karma, stay in your lane. All right.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's fucked up.
All right. So, I mean, that leads us to the next segment. Like, so what did you learn from some of these life experiences that you've had, these quote unquote failures that you've experienced?
Oh, man. You learn so much, dude. And I've always said this. You don't always learn from winning. You learn more from a failure than you will ever learn from just, I always win. Honestly, there's a lot of self-discovery that came from a lot of these.
Yeah.
And realizing who I am and what I am and how I, project myself to other people. And a lot of these, I realized that I live my life by comedy. Because everything that's ever failed is funny as shit.
There was a quote that, I don't know the actor's name. The dude who does Mr. Bean, man. Like,
Gotcha.
Right?
I don't know his name either.
I saw this, I don't know, some kind of post or something like that. And it was basically he was citing Chaplin, and he basically said that life is a tragedy up close, but it's a comedy from long view, right? Or bastardized. And I think that's kind of essentially the same kind of thing that reminds me of. Mm-hmm. Like, when you're in the midst of the failure, it hurts, and there's a lot to do. But when you pull back and you really look at it, like, it's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
I was not happy when that car like served me that way.
No, but that shit was funny as hell.
In hindsight. So one of the things that I learned through all this even this last month, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a very rigid person. I like my schedules. And also like I've had some other kind of challenges in the last couple of years, which has really been like really big, like failure. It is what it is. But I realized throughout this process, the best thing that's happened to me was when I let go of control of having to own that have that rigidness and all that stuff. You let all that control go. Mm-hmm. You gain so much more control of your life by not trying to like hold that control over anything. Like if you let go of all control, mm-hmm. you will gain more control in your life. And I think that's something that I have been working on, and it's been very fruitful in that way for me.
Oh yeah. You know, people would always yell at me. It's like, you don't take life seriously. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to. I only got one life to live. I don't take it seriously. Everything's a joke.
Everything can be. Yeah. Or a lesson to be learned, or like just there's always some positive that comes out of almost everything if you look at it that way.
Oh yeah. I went to my get my car fixed. I went to the shop, mm-hmm. and I saw a sign up on the wall that I thought was the coolest fucking thing ever. It says, I don't lose. I either win or I learn.
Yeah. I think that's a great thing. I think that's to say, like, I believe in your same sentiment. Failure is where you learn. And I've said that time and time again. I want my kids to fail frequent and often, because in that failure, they learn to grow. I hope I fail frequently and often, and I do. And I
failed.
And I learn, and I grow. And I think that was kind of like one of the cool little kind of core concepts that the February flops had given us was we get to look at people's failures, but some of the games that we got to experience, or some of the things that we've actually experienced even in the February flop month, could be very discerning and could, hurt people's feelings. But there was a lot of lessons in there that we could learn, mm-hmm. a lot of things that we could have gained. And I think that's the important message for me personally was like, yeah, failures are inevitable. How you respond to them is where you move forward, and that's how you're going to do that learning. And then you'll feel less impact of a failure, but it doesn't mean that you stop failing.
Well, and that takes me to a different kind of thought process, right?
What is that?
So I don't really care for the game, but No Man's Sky went from complete utter garbage to not quite as garbage, in my opinion, but It is actually thriving. It took a failure,
right,
and made it something,
right?
To be almost like a household type of game. I don't like it at all. I didn't care for it, but it's striving through its failure.
And I think that's important, and I think that's what we kind of hinted at with Outriders, that same kind of concept. If Outriders was given more revenue and fed into it, I do believe that it would have been more successful than what it was.
Oh yeah.
There are other games like the other game that we played, Redfall. Absolutely loved Redfall, and whether or not it was commercial flop to some or accepted by others, I really had a really great time with that game.
Yeah.
And the other games that like Strangers of Paradise, I couldn't care less. I do appreciate the time that I was given that game in the sense of like all the developers that actually worked on that game. Like I don't ever want to like demean somebody's work and effort, mm-hmm. but the game is just not for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay too. You say like it's not like it's not shit, garbage, trash. It's just like it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a different kind of perspective.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up as we move towards the next piece, which is basically just kind of like a call out. So we do have some sponsors coming down the pipeline. So be ready for that. That's going to be coming down pretty soon. We'll see some movements on that. We do have Our next episode in our next month will actually be Mecca March, where we're going to be discussing
Mecca.
So, get used to those. We do have 5 weeks in March, so we'll have a lot of game content for that.
Oh, yes.
The next episode will be over technology, just video game technologies, how they've actually helped us grow, how we've experienced them through our lives, and how that's kind of formed from our perspective, how we've seen that progress go.
And there's a lot of progress we've seen in our time.
And a lot of cool things that people don't realize that actually did occur.
Oh, yeah.
Like the things that we got to see. So we'll talk about that more next week. We do appreciate
Next month.
Next month. I keep saying next week. Next month. And then, so other than that, I do want to say, I do appreciate everybody who watches this and supports us and follows us and likes us. I really do appreciate that. We do feel that. We have received some recommendations from some of our viewers.
Yes, we have.
Those have been taken seriously, and we do have some of those coming up. So keep watching that one, and we'll call out the person who actually cited those. We do appreciate those recommendations. We do love them. That way, it gives us something to look at.
Yeah, we appreciate any of the ideas. What games to play, maybe even an idea for a month. Well, we take everything into exception. We look at everything. So, if you got something you want to say, let us know.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. And, like us, subscribe us, follow us, notify us. We also are trying to build up our Discord, so it's Pirkles and Mirlk. If you guys can just go ahead and send us you can contact us one way or another. There's 1,000 ways to get in contact with us. We'll go ahead and shoot you that invite to Discord as well. I'm happy to have your guys' conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I do appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next month.
Next month.
Done. And then when we start rolling, we'll start rolling.
Recording.
All right, perfect. So, and you can hear us perfectly fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Good.
Cool. So now, however you want to start it, man. We can go to the main intro, or we can just do probably skip the joke. Fuck it. Let's just go to the main intro, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We always have bloopers.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. Und the blooper.
Und the blooper.
Blooper stufen?
Yeah. How do we even start this? I don't fucking know. We talk about single ploy. I can't.
Employed by toilet paper. Gotcha.
What our failures look like, this, that, and the other. This is what it looks like, guys. This is failure.
This
intro is a failure. We were fumbling just to start it. So we'll just run right into it, right? So, obviously, welcome to episode 2 of the Pirkles and Mirlk podcast. This time we're going to be speaking about failures are us, right?
Oh,
so,
yes.
Welcome to the show. This will be great. Hopefully you guys like it or don't. Well, see, it's fumble. You fumble so fucking hard. All right, let me start that over again.
Take 2.
No, this will help me talk. Well, it's not funny. Welcome to the show.